Well, welcome, everybody, to this Energy Wednesday. Today is the 21st of September, and in my calendar, the 21st of September must be our equinox between the 21st of June and the 21st of December. So winter is coming, it is round the corner, and we are just at that cusp, really, from enjoying what was quite a long late summer for us, and going into our autumn. So 21st of September is a very special time, and I wanted to, there's lots of red here on the lots of people wearing red, so the three people in the middle of my screen here are all in red, so that's lovely. Today what I wanted to do was work with the energies of the heart. And I had shared with you, whatever anybody's views are, I think it was quite remarkable what happened really in the last week with the kind of reaction to the Queen's death and her funeral, and it was really quite an amazing time. I found Monday was very much like a day out of time, and 70 years in anybody's lives and anybody's families is quite amazing. And at the same point, we had a message from Donna Eden, who had been, she's the name behind the Eden method, which is one of the two main forms of energy medicine that I practice. I also practice homeopathy, which is, I believe, is an energy medicine as well. But we had a message from Donna Eden saying that she had been doing the Energy Fest, and they chose, which is an international gathering of speakers in energy medicine, and they chose Cleveland, Ohio this year. And everybody's like, why has she chosen Cleveland? And then she became unwell there, and that's where there's a huge big cardiac surgery centre, and she ended up having a cardiac bypass on Monday. So she didn't manage to complete the Energy Fest, and it was completed for her, and she was going to another place called the Omega Institute. And I believe that she's recovering well. And many people go through surgery like this, but still it's a big deal. She had a 6-hour surgery on Monday, and all the people, she's really built up very much of a tribe, and all her students were supporting her, and not by messages. She's asked for people not to, because she will want to reply to everybody, but just by holding sort of healing intentions. And I thought, well, actually, with what's been happening in everybody's lives, and it would be nice just to spend some time working with the energies of the heart. So our heart, knew her intuition, knew where to take her. Yes, absolutely, yeah. So our heart is a most amazing pump in our body. And it's very, very much more than the pump. That we all, for eons, we've talked about the heart as the seat of our emotions, and the heart as it has its own neuropeptides, and it's got its own intelligence. But the whole of our system is built towards the continuation of the heart beating, because that is the essence of our survival. And whatever system that we follow, that's really what this is all about. And we want to see, we don't want to just survive, but we want to thrive as well. So the heart within traditional Chinese medicine is seen as the empress within the palace, the queen within the palace, and everything is round to support that queen. So we had we've got our late, we had the late queen last week. We had I talk about the Queen of Eden energy medicine, and then the heart within our energy systems is the queen of all of our systems, and it's protected by all the other the other energies around it. So to keep us alive, but also to keep us radiant and thriving. So there are different within. I won't talk to too much theory, but there are the meridians are rivers of energy that flow within our body. And they flow in a 24-hour cycle, and they also flow within the rhythms of the seasons. So we have a flow and control wheel, which is about from winter to spring to summer to autumn. And I was saying that this is the equinox just now, so halfway between the summer and the winter solstice. So we have the rhythm cycle, and we also have a 24-hour cycle. And in the 24-hour cycle, the heart gets every meridian, every energy system gets a 2-hour system that it's in. It's what's called its high tide, and that's when that energy is at its highest. And the heart is at midday, so it's between 11 and 1. And so we covered tracing the meridians, and then we did tapping the meridians. And if any of you have not seen that second, I didn't send it out by email, but the second of the tapping of the meridians I put up on YouTube. And so one of the ways we can do is by tracing our meridians, or if you find that too much to trace all of your meridians, it's a lot to do, you can say, okay, it's heart time. And the heart meridian starts here in our armpits, and it comes down, or it comes actually up the body and off our little pinky. So you could say, okay, this is heart time. I'm going to trace my heart meridian. And what comes before the heart meridian, so this is from the armpits, I'm coming down the pinky side of my arm and then squeezing off at my pinky. So coming down pinky side of my arm, squeezing down my pinky. And 9 till 11 a.m. is actually spleen time. So that's 2 hours before that. And the spleen, I've often said, is about, I talk about it a lot. It's the mother of all our systems. So the queen is the heart, but the mother is the spleen. And that's the spleen pancreas systems. And certainly Donna, Eden sees that most heart attacks occur in spleen time. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean, it's because if there's not energy coming, if there's not enough nurturing energy that's coming through our systems, if we're not able to nurture ourselves, we don't have enough energy to send on to the heart. So it's very important that we look after our spleen. And it's also very important that we have our kidney energy going, because kidney moves all the fluids in the body. So basically, it's very important that we look after ourselves to look after our heart. So the first, I thought I would, so that's a little bit of theory about the 24-hour cycle, but I thought we could just do some very simple exercises for heart healing and for heart, keeping our hearts nice and strong. And there's nothing particularly new for you, because the first thing I'm going to start off with are the 4 thumps. So in fact, we'll go to the stomach, and just because I'm sitting at a table, I can sit like this. And breathe. And smile. The stomach is grounding, is bringing us right down to just taking the worries away from our head, and just we can settle down and we can ground. And then we can tap on their cheekbones very, very gently, and breathe and smile and breathe and smile. Then we're coming down to the K27, our kidney meridian, and we're just going to give that a tap. Because if we're wanting the heart to pump its circulation around the body, we need the kidney energy to be that source of that movement for us, because the kidney meridian is a source of it helps all the other meridians move forward. So it's very, very, very important. And then we go to our thymus, which is just above the heart. So it's on the sternum, on the chest bone. We'll give it a little bit of a tap. And we can go lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub. Or if you imagine your heart is that waltz, you can do a waltz. Or any way you feel that your heart wants to dance. And then we've got the spleen meridians. So We're coming here, just an arm and a hand's width underneath our armpits, and we're giving it a tap. And we have, this is why I had my camera the other way earlier on, we have also done the spleen flush. So if we're thinking spleen is going to be sending energy through into heart, we'll start here, we'll come up to our armpits, we'll come down the front and sides of our waist, then we'll come down round the groins, come down the inside of our legs, right down to our feet, and then come along the inside of our feet and off our big toe. And then we start at our big toe along the inside of the foot, the inside of the leg, cross over at the groins, up to the armpits and down. And then 2 more times from the big toe, up the inside of the foot, the inside of the legs, up to the armpits and down. And a third one. So the basics are so important. And I mentioned to you about tracing the heart meridian. So we can spend some time just by deeply going into our armpits and tracing down that meridian. And often it's quite tender. When you come down to the end, you can twist your baby finger. Twist it as much as you can. Twist it again. And then we'll just go down this again. You can go even more slowly. And smile. And down and twist. And a third time. And twist. And before we go to the other sides, we're going to come to our middle finger, and we're going to come up the middle finger and up the middle of our inside of our arm, up to our shoulders and down to our breasts above our nipple. And that's the heart protector. So we've traced the heart forward. We traced the heart forward 3 times there. And then we're going to come back the heart protector once. Because a heart protector is like pericardium, and it can hold on too tightly sometimes to the heart. It's so I'm just tracing down. So I'll give my pinky a little bit of a twist or a rub. Then come down the heart. A little twist. And again. Twist. And twist. And then up middle finger. And there. So if we come to our the chest, we can just draw what's called 9 hearts. So we do 1 heart, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, and then next time round our face, our body, 4, 5, 6. Next one, 7, right down to our toes, up the centre of our body. 8. 9. And there are, so along the meridians, there are particular points on the meridians that are called source points, and they're points that are particularly good for organs. So one thing that Donna Eden has done when somebody's having a heart attack is bite their little finger, because that really stimulates the heart meridian. I think, you know, I might be taken to court if I bit somebody's finger, but she can get away with it. But if it was, you know, somebody in your family and you thought, oh my goodness me, you can bite their finger. The other thing you can do is there's a little point here, and that's the heart source point. So by giving that a little bit of a rub and a tap, doesn't matter if you're on the wrong point, you're not putting a needle into it. It's you'll find a little dip there on the pinky side. Of your wrist, and then you can come along here, and there's a heart protector. That's a source point there as well. So one way you can do is you can actually just not worry about the points, because there's a heart there, there's a heart protector there, and that's lung there. And then there's another one there for large intestine, and triple wormer is here, and small intestine is here. So if you were to do this and say, oh, actually, I'm working with all my meridians. I'm working with the, you know, by doing that, coming up to this point here, you're actually working your source points. So the heart one here. And then you've got your heart protector in the middle, and you can just give it a little bit of a twist and a rub. Okay, I can give it a shake. The heart is one of the most electrical, you know, or the most electrical of the organs. And when Donna talks about 9 different energy systems, one of the energy systems is called the electrics. And you can work with the rhythm of the heart by your own heart, by putting 3 fingers in between your breasts and 3 fingers just at the bottom below your navel. That's called the lower danchen. So that's my belly button there, 3 fingers here, and just hold that. We would hold that there for a couple of minutes. Smile. Thinking of that beautiful, radiant heart energy. So this is a hookup here that I'm doing. And after a couple of minutes, you can flatten your hands. So you've got one hand actually over the second chakra, which is ruled by the rhythm of water, and one hand over the fourth chakra, which is ruled by the rhythm of fire. And water and fire are very complementary to each other. So after, I mean, you can hold your hands at that for a long time, then bring both of your hands here. And we're going to come just underneath our collarbones and just hold, so we'll keep one hand here, and these points are on our gallbladder points. So we're just going to connect in one hand to the heart and one hand on a gallbladder point. Gallbladder is part of the wood rhythm, and wood, you know, wood stokes a fire, but the emotion held within gallbladder is anger, and anger can affect the heart. So this is that balancing any anger. And then you can just bring your hand back to your heart. Such a simple thing, but it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. And just move your hands very slightly and give yourself a hug. So this is used both within Eden energy medicine. It's been adapted by Prune Harris to the heart hug, but in Jin Shunshin, this is about self-acceptance. There's a couple of more ones that I can show you. One is putting your hand onto the end of the spleen points and back into this heart point. Just from one side there and here. And all these exercises I've been showing you, you can hold them all for 20 minutes. Let's see how we're doing time-wise. So explain our heart meridian comes down here. Our heart protector comes this way. Our triple warmer meridian comes this way. So triple warmer is part of the fire rhythm and also small intestine. So these are 4 different meridians that are involved with the fire rhythm. Sorry, maybe I said heart, but it's so that there are 4 different meridians that are involved with fire. And whereas all the earth, wood and water, they have 2 meridians in them. And that's just an extra bit of information. But what's really interesting is they all, so our heart is here, and these are all involved with the arms. So often a weakness in the arms can be associated with the working with the heart. So there's a lovely exercise here that's actually good for blood pressure. So any of these, the source points that I used are good for blood pressure. But putting your hands on your thighs and then turning them round so your palms are facing out the way. And we're going to breathe. Seems a bit strange to have our palms out the way. Then we're going to bring our hands up. Okay. And I'm going to imagine that I'm holding the rope of a clock tower, or I'm climbing up a mountain and stretching up. I'm just like, so I'm working with my fire rhythm, my triple warmer, my heart, my small intestine energy, my heart protector. So I'm actually stretching my heart meridian here. Okay, and then bring it down. So you can do that as often as you like. Hands up there and stretch up. And it's a good workout, but then realizing that's here, this is my, the energy of my heart. So I hope that's been helpful today. It all starts with the very basics of actually working with the basic energies. So working with, we had the tapping with our, our spleen meridian. We had helping us here with the stomach meridian. Then with our kidney, and we don't need to be hammering at our points. We can just be holding into them and checking in with them. And then we had the thymus, the sternum, and we were tapping that to the heartbeat. We covered the spleen meridian. So we were, so we were tapping the spleen because the spleen feeds the heart. Spleen time is between 9 and 11 in the morning, but it's, yeah, its energy moves into heart time. And then we can flush spleen, we can come up and down the inside of our legs, off the inside of our feet, and then back up 3 times. Clear. We did the 9 hearts exercise, so 3 times there, 3 times, right, you can make it any way you want it, and then 3 times around the whole body. We trace down the heart meridian, here, down and off our pinky. Here and off our pinky. I chose to trace the heart meridian 3 times. We always want to trace to go forward in the heart meridian. We're always wanting to strengthen the heart meridian. But the heart protector, we can go back once. So that's fine. We work with our heart source points, or our source points, just rubbing our wrists. And we did sunrise and sunset, which is this one here. And I think that's all. Okay. So there are lots of other exercises that you may you may have come across, the connecting heaven and earth that I love so much. But what are we doing? We're stretching up here. We're stretching this whole area. So we're stretching spleen, we're stretching heart. So remember this thing, as much as we can do to open up this area, front and back, and by working with our, our arms will really help with our heart. So I hope you find this helpful. I will put the recording off. And just before I do, just say to everybody to have a lovely week. Rest of your week. Dr. Sue and myself will be up in the Highlands this weekend doing our retreat, but I will be back next Wednesday for Energy Wednesday, and look forward to seeing you then. Now I'll put recording